this lecture is about regulatory strategy. In simplest form, a strategy can be considered bringing a new product to market, but it touches every product development cycle aspect and can ensure market sustainability. A limited or inadequate strategy can challenge global expansion and thus emphasizing the importance of a well-designed and executed regulatory strategy. The role of regulatory professional has continued to evolve over the past several decades. The traditional regulatory affairs role has developed into more of a regulatory science-driven strategist role, critical for many organizational collaboration functions. Strategy and planning are concepts frequently discussed in many facets of the profession and continue to shed light on new opportunities to highlight the regulatory professional's value. So in its simplest form, strategy can be considered bringing a new product to the market, but strategy touches every product development cycle, as I've said before. But a regulatory strategy is a foundational document. Alright, a regulatory strategy is basically your foundational document. That clearly outlines the critical regulatory pathway and objectives to ensure adequate planning to bring a new product to market. So it is a foundational document that outlines what? The critical regulatory pathways and objectives to ensure adequate planning to bring a new product to the market. And it ensures what? It ensures adequate planning to bring a new product to market, as well as overall sustainability and product end of life. Overall sustainability and the product end of life. Since this document is foundational, it is expected to evolve through the product life cycle. So it's expected to evolve through the product life cycle. It means, if in general terms I would explain this, then I would say that when you discover a drug molecule, for example, I'm taking this whole drug life cycle from its discovery till its launch in the market, reach to the patients till the very end. It's a continuous document basically. So it's not that you just launch it to the market and then the role is finished. No, any side effects, any more changes that needs to be done, any more adverse effects that has been addressed in the market. So this document evolves through the product life cycle till the very end, from cradle to grave, and be embedded in the life cycle and various review stages that occurs during organizations' product life cycle activities. The strategy document provides clear guidance for various participating functional teams to ensure critical strategic regulatory elements are considered and embedded throughout the product life cycle. As products continue to evolve in its complexity and design, such as combination or digital health solution, nowadays AI is very famous amongst us. A robust and a comprehensive regulatory strategy document is an all-time premium. So now that a regulatory strategy's values in a global environment is understood, a deeper dive into the elements, what is that can constitute a successful strategy, including definition, scope and objective, roles and responsibilities. All this are needed to be considered. So a regulatory strategy is basically a major component of successful biopharmaceutical product development. If you're making a new product, if you're making a product and you're launching it in the market, then regulatory strategy is the major component of it for a successful biopharmaceutical product development. Well-prepared regulatory strategy will align the proposed clinical development plan with the business objective and primitively identify challenges and come up with innovative approaches to new product development, which influence new standards for evidence generation, supporting continuing development and global market authorization. So what is happening here is that, in simple terms, again, if I explain you want to do something, but I generally find that with my experience, that when you are trying out there as a like you're 25 years of age or 30 years, 35 or 40 or 20 for that matter, and you're trying to make it out there on your own. And I have heard many people say go with the flow. I was also one of them, go with the flow kind. But go with the flow is a situation where you do not know and you have absolutely no idea of what is coming next. As in, you're driving on a road with no GPS, no networks, no internet. You're just driving ahead with just the hope, with God's will, you'll reach your destination. That is going with the flow, because you're not left with any other options unless you drive on that road. But this to be considered as a major agenda of your life is wrong. Giving you my example why I consider it wrong is because this is not a age where you should go with the flow. And you have many options, you have many plans, you have many objectives in your life. And if you, especially if you have a goal in your life, then you should not go with the flow. You should have a strategy prepared. And that is what we are going to talk about. Now, this strategy is in terms of life, in terms of your career or academic growth. But what we are talking about is regulatory strategy. Why regulatory strategy? Because are we developing the drug just because we felt like it? Just because I was bored one day and I thought that maybe this drug would be very beneficial for cancer? No, I'm developing this drug so that this drug can reach the people in need and it can help them. But how would it be done? If you have attended my lecture on drug development, you know the various stages of any pharmaceutical product development, that it has to go through non-clinical, then clinical trials, then post-market approvals, then the product will be launched in the market, then there will be some side effects that would be noted, and those would be taken as in under consideration. There will be some changes made to the drug, relaunched. There is new drug application, there is abbreviated new drug application, branded, non-branded drugs. All of this is available on my video lecture series. You can search it on my Pharma Education 101 channel. However, if we do all of this, which by the way people spend billions of dollars on, if you, unless and until you don't have a strategy, you cannot survive out there. This is not a condition where you say I will go with the flow. You need a strategy. And regulatory strategy, why? Because ultimately you would need to pass some kind of a regulatory barrier, whether it is, that is, you want to launch the product in USA, UK, India, or Australia or Canada, or in any other country. You would need to pass that barrier, the post-market approval stage. So to pass for like passing this barrier, your pharmaceutical company needs to be very efficient since day one. Okay, what basically we are doing is, on a very broad terms, if I say, we are trying to show them that whatever my drug product is safe, it is effective, with minimum to no side effects. And that is the pillars of any drug development process. So we have to collect as much as data and evidence through clinical or non-clinical phases to prove them that my drug is safe and efficacious, and it could be used for intended purposes with least to no to little side effects. That is what we are trying to show, because after this drug is launched, you are making that drug in billions. We also need to consider the business aspect of it. It's not like every pharmaceutical company out there is working by an NGO. You need certain kind of business strategy also. So all of this is covered under this strategy, and that is what we are going to learn, and that is very important. So that is what they're saying here, that well prepared strategy with aligned with the proposed clinical development plan and with the business objective, especially to identify any challenges or to come up with an innovative approach. So it's aligning with your proposed clinical development plan. You have certain objective in your mind that is not related technically to your disease, and also with the business objective. It also helps you to identify certain gaps and to come up with solutions, and innovative solutions for that matter, for your new product, so that you can influence new standards. You could be the benchmark for other companies. Many a times people look for precedents. Has it ever occurred with anyone, and what did they do, and how did they deal with the situation, especially in legal matters when you're trying to investigate something. And for evidence generation, supporting continuing development and global market authorization. Global market authorization, hence it's known as regulatory strategy. So a good regulatory strategy, which is well prepared, timely prepared, and well maintained, can act as a differentiating factor for industry leaders to bring innovation products in the market. What is differentiating factor here? They're trying to say that there are three students, student A, B, and C. What are the different strategies by which they prepare? And however, each one's strategy is uh, aligning with the regulations of the exams and previous, I mean, like, whichever student strategy would be the best would actually be the topper in the exam. So their strategy is what makes them different, because the teacher is same, the syllabus is same, the books are same. Then where does it differ? And God has given brain to everyone, so where does that difference occur, where one is topper and one has failed? It occurs in the strategy. The one who revises every day, the one who studies every day, gives dedication, have consistency, gets that differentiating factor from others. So similarly goes for industry leaders. They get that differentiating factor. If you have a good regulatory strategy, you can be the hero in bringing new innovative products in the market. Now, as soon as target product profile has been determined, whatever my target product profile is, when that is determined, I am going to do something. Now, what is that will do? Before that, what is target product profile? Let's study a little bit regarding TPP, target product profile. So a target product profile is, it basically outlines the desired profile or characteristics of a target product that is aimed at a particular disease or diseases. So this is the WHO definition of target product profile. So it outlines the desired profile या उसके characteristics of a target product that is aimed at a particular disease. Suppose I want to treat a certain type of cancer and I have a product in my mind. So whatever, like the chemical or the stability or whatever parameters the product can have, the safety or efficacy, that is target product profile. That my targeted product की profile क्या है. So it outlines the desired profile, that is what is I want in that drug. Basically, if I'm going to purchase a washing machine, what all features do I want? So that is my product profile. So TTP state intended use, target population, and other desired attributes of product, including safety and efficacy related characteristics. Such profiles can guide product research and developments. So in regulatory context, TPPs are considered as tool to frame development in relation to submission of product dossier. So in industry, in-house TPPs are used as planning tools that guide development towards desired characteristic. In terms of regulatory, if we talk about, then TPPs are basically considered as tools to frame development. It frame development in relation to submission of product dossier. Submission of product dossier. Okay, so as soon as the TTPs has been determined, the regulatory strategy can be marked out as a pathway to support the TTP. So TTP आपने डिसाइड कर लिया, अब हम उसके बेसिस पे रेगुलेटरी स्ट्रैटेजी बनाएंगे. हमने क्या किया, हमने अपना गोल निर्धारित कर दिया कि हमें ये गोल अटेंड करना है एनी हाउ. अब हम ये गोल कैसे अटेंड करें, अब हम पीछे जाके उसकी स्ट्रैटेजी बनाएंगे कि हम ऐसे ऐसे पढ़ाई करेंगे या वट एवर स्ट्रैटेजी यू गाइज नो बेटर, यू मेक. we do that, and here we are talking in terms of pharmaceuticals regulatory strategy. So the regulatory strategy is reverse engineered document. Very important terminology. Is a reverse engineered document such that once one has developed a TPP, that is object is established, one can then work backwards to determine what information is needed to achieve the goal. रिवर्स इंजीनियर्ड क्यों? इंजीनियरिंग मतलब कि क्या? इंजीनियरिंग मतलब you're making something. But why reverse engineered? Because again, you whenever like how can I give an example for this? Okay, you are in art and craft class, and there they are letting you like teaching you how to make a butterfly out of paper. So you engineered a butterfly out of paper. How that would be reverse engineering? Ki I decided my TPP, target product profile, would be, for example, an antihistaminic drug. It could be any, for example, and this is the desired product profile that I need. अब मैंने गोल तो डिसाइड कर लिया कि मुझे तो यही चाहिए, मुझे किचन में जाके बनाना यही है, बट मुझे क्या क्या चीज़ों की ज़रूरत है, क्या प्रोसेस की ज़रूरत है, क्या चेक्स की ज़रूरत है, जिससे मैं अपने इस गोल को अटेन कर पाऊंगी. सो दैट इज़ वॉट इट इज़ रिटन इन द रेगुलेटरी स्ट्रैटेजी. That is what they're saying here. That then you works backward to determine what information is needed to achieve this goal. So what is a regulatory strategy? So regulatory strategy involves all aspect of a drug. Therefore, people having expertise in chemical synthesis, toxicology, biology, clinical and regulatory affairs, marketing, government affairs, reimbursement should all provide input into the regulatory strategy to ensure it is as comprehensive as follow. So you are like getting an idea of what all is involved, like the whole Janam Kundli of a drug since the beginning, from its birth to grave, from cradle to grave. So based on the regulator's need, whoever is manufacturing this drug, good regulatory affair professional needs to be able to carefully evaluate development options and potential issues and challenges. So how you are going to, what would be your plan of action, and what could be the possible challenges you would face, and the outcomes and how we would rectify those challenges basically. So regulatory affairs professional, that is we all people, is the communication mediator between the regulators and the rest of the drug development and marketing team. These individuals, so regulators here, by this they means the people who in whose market you are going to launch the product. These individuals should be the key members. These are the key members of the drug development team in order to best address any potential issues with regulators. Main activities involved in creating and achieving a regulatory strategy include: interpret the regulations and guidelines, self-explanatory, that you have to look for the regulations and what are the guidelines saying, and you have to interpret it. You have to conduct an intelligence gathering activity, that is brainstorming sessions for whatever reasons you want. It could be a challenge that you observed or an issue, or what would be the plan of action, or what would be the solution or remedial action for it. Design and manage the drug development programs. So you have to design the drug development program and manage it as well. Determine market access requirement, that is like the primary purpose of a regulatory team. Determine and manage external resources and experts. Evaluate technical data, whatever the technical data would be, whether it's related to chemistry or manufacturing or preclinical or clinical, in order to determine the appropriate regulatory procedure and legal status of the product. So you have to keep in check of every little detail, or whether it is technical or legal aspect, so that you have the appropriate regulatory procedure.